I found a post titled, "Being dead is better than living to be a failure." And the post said, "I don't think I'm gonna make it. It's already bad enough that I'm ugly and will never get anybody to love me, but apparently I'm also just really stupid, and I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to university. If I don't pass, I'm gonna have to KMS if I don't already. I'm tired of being alive, man." So let's talk about why this hurts so deeply. When someone feels both unwanted and like their success depends on a single academic goal, the weight of all of that becomes crushing. It's kind of like the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. It's not just pressure anymore because it becomes your identity. Every glance in the mirror feels like proof of failure. Every grade becomes a final judgment on who you are as a human being. And this is what makes it so dangerous. The human brain starts linking unrelated things together, just like in that post where he said, "If I'm unattractive, no one will love me. If no one loves me, I have no worth. If I fail this test, I'll lose the only shot I have at proving my worth." Suddenly, a single event like an exam or a graduation becomes the gatekeeper to your entire existence. It's like putting your whole life in the hands of one coin flip. And that's where something that in this video we can call the 3 lies starts to take root. Not because people set out to believe these lies, but because the lies quietly grow out of our own thoughts like these, until they feel like facts in our own minds. And once they're there, they don't just shape how you feel, they shape the story you tell yourself about who you are, and that's what we'll talk about right now. So lie number 1 that we may tell ourselves is that your worth comes from your appearance. When someone believes this, they start thinking beauty is the only currency that matters. And if you feel like you don't have it, it can feel like you're starting life in the negative. But deep connection, the kind that keeps people in your life, like brotherhood or sisterhood, is based on trust, loyalty, and shared experience, not just looks. We need to talk about lie number 2, which is that your worth comes from your grades. The education system can unintentionally train us to measure ourselves by results instead of growth. It's like judging a tree's entire value by whether it produced fruit this season without realizing that its roots are still spreading deeper underground, preparing for years of future growth. Think about that one critically. And lie number 3 is that one failure or a series of failure means the end. Sometimes it's one failure, other times it's a string of them. But either way, the mind can start to believe that the story is over as you keep failing and failing and failing. But that's a human experience. Every single human in the history of the world goes through common times in life where they just fail and fail and fail. The truth is, failure is a checkpoint, not a death sentence. Most of the highly accomplished people alive could fill a library with the stories of things that they didn't get right. The only difference is they didn't let those moments decide the rest of their life. And here's the thing, when you start replacing those lies with truths that are actually proven in real life, your idea of what's possible changes. So now let's take those 3 lies and replace them with 3 truths. Truth number 1, worth isn't earned by beauty. Your worth was already there the moment you were born. Appearance may affect how some people treat you in the short term, but it has no power to define your real value. Truth number 2, success isn't about one score. The real measure of progress is skill growth, the knowledge, discipline, and resilience you build while working towards something. You might fail the test, yes, but if you've grown in the process, you've already won something bigger in the long term. I've seen this firsthand. I have a friend who might be watching this video. He got an 8% on a math test in high school. We still clown him to this day 8 years later. And then in community college, he had a low 2-point-something GPA. But now, he's studying abroad in a 7-year program and doing incredibly well for himself. Another friend that I knew in a different high school had a 1-point-something GPA, and today, he's about to finish his master's degree in a medical field. Even me, when I first started college, I wanted to become an orthopedic surgeon. That meant I needed perfect grades to get into med school, but I ended up failing my first math class in college. I remember sitting in front of the school building, almost ready to cry. Eventually, I quit the path to go to med school, but life worked out in so many other ways. And so in those 3 moments, we all thought it was the end of our world. But if you just put your head down and keep grinding, it's not. And truth number 3, setbacks are not endings. They're part of the process. The people who go far are the ones who treat obstacles as part of the map instead of proof that they should turn back. But even with those 3 truths, your brain can pull you back to the old patterns instantly. That's why you need something you can do in the moment to stop it, which is what we'll talk about right now. If you ever feel the way this person does, here are 3 ways to create breathing room in your mind right now. Number 1, shrink your world to today. Think of only the things you can control before you go to bed tonight. Not the big picture, don't worry about where you want to be when you're 40, not the entire future, just the next 24 hours. That makes things feel more controllable and more achievable in the very, very short term. Number 2 is to build a small success. Do something that gives you even a tiny sense of control. Clean up your room, go for a 5-minute walk, send a message to check on a friend. It's never about fixing everything in one go. It's about proving you can still create change. And number 3, speak something real. Find one person, whether online or offline, and tell them something true about how you're feeling. Doesn't need to be everything, but it needs to be something. These steps sound small, but they interrupt the mental chain reaction that leads you deeper into hopelessness. And if you want a place to talk to people who understand, you can join my free Discord, link is in the description. It's a safe place to connect, share, and hear from others who are also working through their own challenges. So imagine the person who wrote this post 1 year later. Maybe even you if you're in the same situation. Still the same person, still human, still imperfect as you always will be. But now you've stacked up dozens of small wins. You've had conversations that matter. You've learned skills you didn't have before. You've built enough proof to know that even bad days can be survived. The exam you once thought would define you is now just 1 page in a much bigger book. You've learned that your worth never came from that test. And even if you stumble again, it won't erase everything you've built. But this pattern, the one that almost made him give up, is part of something much bigger that's affecting millions of people right now. If you've been stuck in this loop, nothing changes until your days do. And if you want the fastest way I know to rebuild structure, purpose, and momentum from where you are right now, the 30-day game plan is where we start. You send me your day, I send you the plan, ready to start instantly. Link is in the description if you're interested. But what we've talked about today is only one piece of the bigger picture. The truth is, this pattern you've seen in yourself, it's part of something that's pulling in millions of other people your age, whether they realize it or not. And it's not just random bad days. For a lot of people, it's becoming part of who they are. So recently, I broke down how this mindset is being normalized, repeated, and even rewarded in ways that make it harder to escape, and why so many people are quietly getting addicted to the thought of not being here anymore. And I talk about that in my last video on your screen right now. If you've ever wondered why it feels harder than ever to break free from these thoughts, that video will connect all the dots for you.